Number 265. Wurmple, the worm Pokémon. Using the spikes on its rear end, Wurmple peels the bark off trees and feeds on the sap that oozes out. This Pokemon's feet are tipped with suction pads that allow it to cling to glass without slipping. Now, what evolutionary benefit could Wurmple possibly get from being able to cling to glass?
It's just a coincidence. It's so it can cling to trees, right? And leaves. I think it likes walking up like long leaves, so having a lot of suction for when the leaves get blown around in the wind, that's going to really help you out.
Yeah, that's fair, I guess. But, trees and leaves typically have, a much rougher texture than glass, even on a much smaller scale,
Yeah, but it was like sitting there deciding where to invest its Poke points. And it was like, well, if I'm going to have some sort of grip on my feet, I may as well get the suction cups. Although its feet are not tipped with suction pads.
Yeah, they're just pointy.
Right? Yeah, we can see them. They're pointy. Where is the suction pads? There must be tiny, tiny little suction pads. So what are you thinking here, Ange?
I think it's very spiky except in its mouth, which appears to be a sort of very large vertical mouth, which is unusual in Pokemon, I will say that.
I don't think I've ever seen it open that mouth, so...
It's probably for the best.
I guess it might open vertical. Oh, geez. It opens vertical. Oh.
It looks like it does, right?
All right, I got to revise my score. It's also not spiky in its big round eye. Its eye which is full of love. So, is being spiky good or bad?
It's true to life, I suppose. There are many actual caterpillars that have spikes like that. I will say it isn't a worm, which is just a minor pet peeve, I suppose. There are caterpillars that have been colloquially named worms, so that's fine, I guess. I don't understand why it has a spike on its head, particularly. There are 3 yellow spikes on its body, 2 on its tail, which obviously as we can see, it uses to peel the bark off trees, it uses it to fend off enemies and predators. The spike on its head seems odd to me given that it always uses its back.
Well, it was sitting there in the Spore character creator.
Oh, you're saying it's cosmetic?
Yeah. It wanted to look cool. And I think it works. It was like, there's no bug equivalent of a unicorn until Wurmple.
I think there are, but, I have to respect that. I have to respect the aesthetic changes.
My word for this Pokemon is personality. In no Pokemon is personality as important as Wurmple. What do I mean by that? Well, every Pokemon has a hidden personality value that is essentially what every other statistic about it is derived from. So things like its IVs, so like its individual stats, like how good it is in different stats, its gender, and what ability it has, all come from this personality value. But Wurmple is the only Pokemon that evolves based on the personality value.
Oh.
And the weird thing about that is that means if you have a particular Wurmple, you have no way of knowing until it evolves whether it will become a Silcoon or a Cascoon. But it doesn't matter if you reset the game. If you've got the same Wurmple, it will always evolve into the same thing. And you have no way to know but to just evolve it.
Huh.
I don't know. I think that's neat. There's no other Pokemon like that. Every other one, you can either choose what you want to evolve it into by doing the right thing.
Or you can at least tell ahead of time.
Yeah.
Wow.
By looking at its stats and stuff. So Wurmple stands alone in that regard. And I think that's wonderful.
That is pretty good.
However, its mouth opens vertically.
Yeah.
It's, I was going to give Wurmple 4 stars, but I think I'm going to have to go down to 2.
Wow.
Because I can't do it. I can't stand that, and I can't think about it.
All right. Wow. Yeah, I'm going to give it 3 stars, which brings us to 5 out of 10 for Wurmple.
Next!